Very slowly, the government is trying to unlock the country. Back to work if you can, back to school maybe soon, maybe even back to having a little fun. But the risks are great and the message is very difficult. The Prime Minister told MPs, at least the handful currently allowed in the chamber, that he wanted to move forward without risking an upsurge of the pandemic.
I'll be candid with the House. This is a supremely difficult balance to strike. There could be no greater mistake than to jeopardise everything we've striven to achieve by proceeding too far and too fast. We will be driven not by hope or economic revival as an end in itself, but by data and science and public health.
The government's plan is in a 50-page document. From Wednesday, those who cannot work from home should return to work if their workplace is open. People will be able to take as much exercise as they want outside and even meet one friend in a park, for instance. From June, some children may be able to return to class, mainly at primary school, and shops selling non-essential goods could open up again. And from July, some parts of the hospitality industry might be able to open. That could mean cafes and restaurants. All of this, though, can only happen with the correct social distancing. And at the moment, it only applies to England. The Leader of the Opposition said there were now differences between the UK government's approach and that of the devolved governments. And he pointed to one example.
Page 27 says, travel to outdoor spaces is now permitted irrespective of distance, but we must respect the different rules in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. Does that mean one can travel to the border but not presumably beyond the border where there are differences?
For the first time today, the government also advised that people should wear face coverings in enclosed places where social distancing isn't possible, such as shops or public transport. But it is just advice and won't be enforced. The Prime Minister has explicitly said construction should start up again along with manufacturing. This car plant has social distancing in place now to allow that to happen. But business groups worry employers could be held criminally liable if employees come back and catch the virus.
In the end, that liability can be quite severe. It can go up to corporate manslaughter, which, of course, not only is financially important, it carries the potential for imprisonment and a criminal offence.
The Prime Minister must take the overview in this crisis. He has chosen to take small steps to change this reality on the ground, but he knows those steps come with risk.
Well, let's go to our political editor, Andy Bell, who's in Westminster for us now. And Andy, many saying this message is confusing.
Well, I think there has been confusion, Danny. Let's take one example. Last night, a lot of people might have gone to bed thinking the instruction was they should go back to work today. We now know from the government document, actually, Wednesday is the day when they should be thinking about going back to work to allow businesses to have a little bit more time to get ready. But the purpose of today's statement, the purpose of today's 50-page document is to try and make things a little clearer. I think they have been trying to clarify the message, and they're getting the backing of their scientists. The Chief Medical Officer, Chris Whitty, today said he knows that there are risks attached to what the governments are proposing, but he believes that the risks are small and basically worth it to ensure that people can sustain the basics of the lockdown for longer, even if they're being allowed a little bit more freedom right now.